Now, could it be that the government rushed into declaring the 2020 education calendar year lost before exhausting all options? The Kenya Private Schools Association is in total disagreement with the Ministry of Education on the matter, warning that the decision will have adverse effects on the curriculum. NTV's Seth Olale reports that the decision to declare 2020 a lost year could sound the death knell for some privately owned education institutions.
The 2020 academic year is lost, at least according to the government, and now stakeholders are beginning to come to terms with the possible consequences, one of them being a curriculum crisis.
How is it that surely with all the technicals we have, we couldn't figure out a way to transition our children? We can do KCPE. You don't have to test vitu za October. We had learned up to March. We can open for a few weeks and you tell us now we need this done. After all, it is a transition exam. It is simply used for placement.
The private sector says learning would not have been adversely disrupted by COVID-19 if the Ministry of Education had fully adopted e-learning.
Throughout the whole process of trying to get on board our schools onto the digital learning program, yes, the devices were coming in too expensive. Like the JKU ones were at 25,000 yes, a device, a tablet. You know, 20,000, 25,000. What Corona has taught us is that this online learning can happen on any device.
Private learning institutions have taken a big hit financially following the suspension of learning due to the pandemic and now many risk closure. Private learning institutions have been struggling to get additional funding by providing online courses. But the model, they're saying it's too expensive and not sustainable. They now want the government to come in and help the sector that now is threatened with imminent closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
What is happening is breaches of contract. So if you have a 10-year lease and then because you can't agree with the landlord, you breach that yes, lease, yes, that college could still well continue at another venue. Okay. Yeah, so we don't quite have a clear, precise indicator, and I truly do hope that we don't lose any institutions, though I know one or two that are looking for buyers.
There are currently 288,000 teaching and non-teaching staff. The country's education sector has 10,400 private primary schools hosting 2.14 million pupils. The number of private secondary schools is 1,627 with a capacity of 271,618 students. The total number of students in private primary and secondary schools is 2.4 million. Seth Olale, NTV.